Hello, ECE240, and welcome to the midpoint of our semester. Here we are in week 9, chapter 8, and this week we're going to be focusing on intelligence. And this is going to be a great week. Of what I have for you is to be able to learn about yourself. And I want to take some time to allow you to reflect, learn about yourself. And that's really the power of education, is having the opportunity to build our capacities. But many times before we can build our own capacities, we need to learn about ourselves. And so this week's all really going to be about you. I'm excited for us to get into that. Really quick, for all your assignments moving forward, you must use APA. If you don't use APA correctly, you will see your score reduced on assignments. If you need help on APA formats, please go to the Writing Center, also known as the Student Successful Center, to be able to schedule an appointment, and they can most definitely support you with APA format. Some other tools that I have in the class, if you go under class resources on our Canvas, there's some videos and some links that also can support you on your APA format. Also, we're getting close to your iSearch paper due, your draft. Make sure you understand the requirements around the draft. When it comes to that, really quick, about this time, you should really be knowing what your thesis statement is. If you don't, spend some time this week and next week really formulating what you want to do research on, what you want to learn more about, and that way you can really have a solid thesis statement. Very important for you to understand what the requirements are of that draft paper and be able to submit that on time. It's coming up closer than later. So please take the time to formulate a wonderful thesis statement that can get your ball rolling and get you to put a successful iSearch paper together. Let's get into IQ really quick. And so when I say IQ, what does that mean to you? Some people will say, well, it's how smart you are. Well, IQ is a type of standard score that indicates how far above or how far below you are within your peer group as individuals in mental ability. Okay? And so we're going to learn a little bit more about IQ and its relationship to intelligence. And we're going to actually, before we end this week, we're going to learn about this great theorist, Howard Gardner. Now, Howard Gardner, today you can go to Harvard University and take a class from him. He is a professor at Harvard University, and he came up with a theory around multiple intelligences. And we're going to get into that by sharing a video with you in a little bit. Before we get into the core content of this week, I love this quote. You learn at your best when you have something you care about and can get pleasure in being engaged. And that comes from Howard Gardner. And you'll start to connect this quote to his theory of multiple intelligence and why he says that. So let's do this really quick. When you get to our module this week, you will see you have some videos, and I'm going to play a video for you in a little bit. And one of those videos is going to be theory of multiple intelligences, historical overview. And I would say these two videos right here are a must watch, but we're going to watch this one right now. So let's go ahead and go into that and take some time to watch this video. And then I have an exercise for us to actually do. And there's two exercises, and you're going to actually connect one of them to your discussion this week. So very important. Please take out a piece of paper and a pencil or pen to write something down. Or if you're in your laptop, open up a different screen, or if you're on your phone or tablet, to be able to jot down something that you're going to actually use in your discussion this week. Okay, let's go ahead and watch this video.
At the turn of the century, the 20th, not the 21st, Alfred Binet, residing in Paris, was approached with a problem. He was asked, "Can you devise some kind of instrument to help us predict who will succeed and who will fail?" Being an ingenious fellow, what he came up with succeeded as far as the Parisian elders were concerned, and the resulting intelligence test gave way to the measure of intelligence quotient, or rather IQ. Its purpose? To give an early indication of how smart someone is. If we zoom forward in time, 1914 sees a world war, 1939 sees a second. 1943 saw the birth of Howard Gardner, and in 1983 he published his works on intelligence and told the world about his theory of multiple intelligences. Gardner's theory explored for the first time the possibility of there being multiple platforms for intelligence. He devised, after much research, that there were indeed at least 7 different platforms. He labelled his 7 platforms, or modules of intelligence, as logical mathematical, linguistical, spatial, musical, bodily kinesthetic, intrapersonal. Each platform housed.
So really quick here, these are the 7. There was an 8 proposed that had to do more with the environment and with the earth. It's gone, kind of come and gone. But with these 7 here, it's what I want you to do with your tablet, cell phone, laptop, or your piece of paper that you have. As you learn about them, I want you to tell me which one you think would be your intelligences. Okay? Which one would be maybe your top 2 or top 3 that you believe are your intelligences? So he's saying that people just don't have one type of intelligence. He's saying they have multiple types of intelligences, right? So meaning that which ones do we believe we would be able to attach ourselves to and said, yeah, if I was to take some kind of assessment or evaluation on multiple intelligences, I believe I would come high, maybe in logical, mathematical, linguistic, spatial, musical, kinesthetic, interpersonal, and intra. And we'll learn about these right now. So get ready to learn about them and then write down what you believe would be your top 3.
A different set of skills and capabilities, which when added to contextual and cultural situations resulted in a considered high ability individual within that field. In modern society, linguistic and logical mathematical modules of intelligence are still seen as the most important and traditional forms of intelligence. Spatial intelligence mainly refers to the ability to form a visual representation of the world and use this mental representation to operate. You could quite commonly be in this group if you're an artist, an engineer, an architect, surgeons even have this, and even sailors of the South Seas. Musical intelligence is quite self-explanatory. Mozart was obviously musically intelligent and gifted. The ability to use your whole body, or even just a small part of it, to fashion and create a product or to solve a problem could be placed within the bodily kinesthetic intelligence platform. This level of intelligence can often be reflected in the works of dancers, athletes, and craftspeople. Interpersonal intelligence is the ability to understand people and how to work practically with them. That salesman knocking on your door is probably very good at this, but maybe you don't think so. If we swap this last skill on its head though, those that can look inwardly at their own abilities and recognise our own wishes and dislikes as well as fears are often known as being intrapersonal. What is key in the theory of multiple intelligences is that being strong in one intelligence has no real or particular implications or correlations to strengths or weaknesses in other platforms. Intelligence is described as being an ability to solve a problem or to fashion a product which is valued in one or more cultural settings. And as described by Gardner, this means that intelligence is no longer a term for just the mathematical minded, but for all. 7 unrelated platforms. Which train of intelligence are you on?
So that's what I want you to do. I want you to write down what you believe your top three are. So that's what Gardner is saying. There's just not one type of intelligence, there's these multiple intelligences. Now, his theory has its strengths and it's been challenged many, many times. But my main point on focusing here is that we're all individuals and we know the importance on relationships and to support children and also support ourselves. We have to know ourselves and we have to build a relationship where we can know about others so we can best support others, and also we need to do that with ourselves. So I really want you to have an understanding of individuals, and I think this is a great perspective to bring into our class of using Gardner to think about that people out there are going to have different intelligences, right? According to Gardner. And so when we can maximize those and use those to the best of our ability, it means that we know the individual and we're not using this kind of cookie cutter approach or one size fits all within our relationships with working with others, right? Really important that we get to know the people who we are working with, the people who are serving, and most definitely in our relationships as well. So great opportunity here that I wanted to bring up really quick. So let me get out of here. Let me just go into our modules really quick. There's one video that I really want you to watch this week. And I'm not going to play all of it right now in this video. You're going to watch it on your own. But one of the video that I really want you to focus on and be able to watch is actually an interview with Gardner himself. So now that you understand a little bit better about his theory of multiple intelligences, I want you to get to actually meet the individual. And so this one's called Big Thinkers. It's a great opportunity for you to meet the individual that published this beautiful work that we have here. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this video to work. Of course, it's slowing down on me, but we'll take some time right now to watch it. All right, great. So this gives nice information on the actual theory, this interview with Gardner. And it's a really, really great interview. And here is the link to watch this YouTube video. It's under 8 minutes. Let's take a quick glimpse of getting to meet Gardner really quick.
We have schools because we hope that someday when children have left schools that they will still be able to use what it is that they've learned. And there is now a massive amount of evidence from all realms of science that unless individuals take a very active role in what it is that they're studying, unless they learn to ask questions, to do things hands-on, to essentially recreate things in their own mind and then transform them as is needed, the ideas just disappear. The student may have a good grade on the exam. We may think that he or she is learning, but a year or two later, there's nothing left. If, on the other hand, somebody has carried out an experiment himself or herself, analyzed the data, made a prediction and saw whether it came out correctly, if somebody is doing history and actually does some interviewing himself or herself, oral histories, then reads the documents, listens to it, go back and asks further questions, writes up a paper, that's the kind of thing that's going to adhere, where if you simply memorize a bunch of names and a bunch of facts and even a bunch of definitions, there's nothing to hold on to. The idea of multiple intelligences comes out of psychology. It's a theory that was developed to document the fact that human beings have very different kinds of intellectual strengths, and that these strengths are very, very important in how kids learn, and how people represent things in their minds, and then how people use them in order to show what it is that they've understood.
So I'm going to pause it right there, but please take the time to finish the last 6 minutes of that interview. And what a great opportunity that you have to kind of learn from Howard Gardner, one of the most modern theorists of our time that we have right now. What I want to do really quick is pull this up once again and have another activity for you. And here's the activity I'd like you to try. By looking at this, you see that this equation is not true. 6 plus 4 does not equal 4. I would like you to pretend that each one of these is a match. And if you were to move one matchstick, maybe you want to move this one and put it somewhere else, where would you move it to complete and make the equation true? Take a look. So one that I've seen people do is they'll take this plus sign, make it a negative, and then put it right here, that 8 minus 4 equals 4. There are actually two other ways to complete this riddle, to complete this equation. And for some of us, it might have come a lot easier because, according to Gardner, we might have a multiple intelligence that gears us to solve this, where for others, it took a little while, right? All right, so let's go back to this week really quick and kind of end with the expectation that you have for this week, okay? So you do have a question of the week, a discussion that I would really like you to get engaged in and involved in with your peers. And that is this Gardner's multiple intelligences. And here it is. You're going to take a self-assessment test. I'm going to show you where that's at. Okay? And I want you, after you take that, to tell me what your top 3 intelligences were according to that test. What about those top 3 that you picked in class during this lecture? And your top 3 from the assessment. So is there a difference, or is it the same that you picked right now, or is it different from the ones the evaluation, the test told you? All right, so a little bit learning about yourself, and then do you believe people have one intelligence or many? Are you aligned to Gardner, or do you disagree with his theory? Remember, theory is not proven fact, it's a theory, okay? So that is due, of course, on Friday, and then a response to your peers on Sunday, all right? One thing I want to lead you to really quick is your quiz. So for your quiz, you got this. You have the multiple intelligence self-assessment. That's right here. You're going to click on this, and I want you to answer all of these questions honestly. And then when you click on the bottom, you're going to get your top 3 according to this assessment. That's the data you're going to get, and I want you to compare it to the data, the information you just wrote down right now. Okay? Now, after you do this, you're well equipped to answer the discussion of the week. And then after you do that, you will be able to take our quiz this week. All right? So our quiz this week is just this. Due by Sunday. Let's go ahead and preview it. You're basically telling me that you did the self-assessment, true or false, okay? Because our quiz of the week is focused on you. I told you this is about your learning, about you taking the time to learn more about yourself, and this week is about you. So taking that assessment, taking that test is your quiz of the week. Please put true here so you can get your full credit. If you put false, you get 0, and I'm not going to go back to fix it. So make sure you put true there, okay? Now, for extra credit this week, if you want to, I do have a short quiz that goes in relationship to the chapter this week, and you can turn that in, which due Sunday, for extra credit points, and you will find that a little bit lower down here where it says videos, and there's the extra credit quiz you can take once again for extra credit. Once again, take the time to watch those first two videos, really giving you a great foundation for this week's learning, allowing you to best support your discussion this week, and then also giving you the opportunity to learn about yourself this week. That's what this week is about, taking the time to learn about you in relationship to Howard Gardner. This will be on your final, so I hope you enjoy the process, and I look forward to reading your discussions. And please take the time to look through our class schedule and make sure you understand when the future observations are due. All right, we are getting close to finishing those, so please take the time to understand and know and be fully in charge of this class and of your academic success by knowing the due dates of the rest of the assignments for this semester, meaning the iSearch draft, the iSearch final, and the remaining 3 observations that you have. I wish all of you a wonderful week and look forward to all of you taking the time to learn about yourselves in relationship to Howard Gardner. Have a great week and take care. Bye-bye.